Hello, everybody. Welcome to the new moon in Taurus. So we have the sun and the moon in Taurus at the same time. We have some other planets that actually serve to lighten things up a little bit. Often the sun is going to be close to Mercury, right? So a lot of the time you'll see Mercury in Taurus at the same time as the new moon and the sun, right? But this time we have Mercury in Gemini already. So it's lighter. We also have Mars in Cancer, softens it up a little bit. So we're going to take a look at this beautiful chart of our new moon, and we're going to take a look, as usual, at the tarot for this new moon phase. And then we're going to do readings for everybody's individual sign. But overall, you're probably feeling this new moon energy already as you listen to the video. And you might feel it for a few days after. That's sort of how it works. A few days before, a few days after. Classically, they say 3 days after and before. Some people, some new moons and full moons are stronger than others for everyone or for just you. Depends how it affects your personal chart. And sometimes you can feel the influence or the impact of a new and full moon a few days, a week before, a couple weeks after, or once in a while you make a life-changing insight or decision on one of these moon cycles, and it lasts quite a long time. So Taurus energy is going to be very down to earth, very practical, very tangible stuff. So it could bring up stuff on the material plane, meaning your body, your finances, your home, stuff that's very sometimes mundane but necessary to get done. And the other thing with Taurus in general is they like things to be secure, chill, comfortable. They don't like a lot of drama. They like things to be tasting good, sounding good, good to the touch. They like things to be useful. And they're extremely loyal to the people that they let in their lives. So if a Taurus has let you in and they're close to you, you've jumped through many hoops of trust, and now you have a loyal friend or partner. So those themes might be coming up in your life, anything to do with physical health, finances. But Taurus ultimately, in the spiritual sense, Taurus is talking about the value of things in the chart. So usually we put that on, we think about valuing as, well, how much is it worth? Money. But really it's the values. What's worth what? Is it worth it to spend a lot of money for a bigger house, to have all the space, but also have twice as much to worry about fix or clean? Is it worth it to you? It's not really a judgment of what's better or worse. It's what's worth it for you. You know, is it worth compromising your values in order to get ahead? Examining what are your values. Those are also Taurus themes. So we'll see with the chart now how much any of these themes are playing out, and looking at the other planets to also just double check what else is going on alongside just the moon, the new moon. So as usual, I'm just going to burn a bit of my sage to start us off, and then I'm going to take a fresh raw look at the chart. I just calculated it a few minutes ago. I always think it's a good time in the spring to use your sage. Clean up your place, tidy up, open the windows, donate a few things, and cleanse the energy. And of course, I just love that it's already lilacs. They're just starting. It's the first one that I got, and it's half bloomed and half not quite. And I just love. I think it's my favorite flower. So that makes me happy. And that for where I am in Montreal, the lilacs are a little bit early. We didn't have as intense a winter, so that's sort of nice. All right, let's take a look now at the chart. So, as I mention every time, but I'll remind, when I do a chart, I cast it for New York City. So just because it's a major city on the same time zone as I'm in, that's why. So if you're in the Eastern time zone, then all the stuff that I mention about what house or what area of life these things could play out in will apply to you. And if you're in Central or Pacific, then it's going to shift a little bit. But the overall reading is still accurate no matter where you are, because the dynamics are what they are. Whatever house they play out in can change, but the overall dynamic is the same for us all, because it's the planets. Yeah. So imagine the planets all around us having a dinner party, and think about, where everybody's sitting at the table and what kind of dynamic that creates. That's sort of what we're doing when we look at the chart right now. So first of all, the sun is at 21 degrees Taurus, so is the moon. And it's happening in the house number 9 if you're in this time zone. So this is nice because that talks about higher learning, higher education, diversifying, expanding your horizons, learning about other people. Although Taurus sometimes is just more comfortable to stick with what it knows than to expand. But this would be a good sign of expansion and learning about people or customs that are not your own. The 9th house sometimes can be traveling, but right now with COVID, a lot of us are still not traveling, but we have seen some places start to open up. I've seen some announcements that there's more flying, and we have to see what happens with borders in different places. We also have, right next to this, we have a Venus in Gemini, and Mercury and the North Node are all in Gemini. So this is a big cluster for the 9th house. So this is going to make things already, to me, more and more uplifting. Venus in Gemini is likes to reinvent, likes to be playful, likes things that are witty or funny, likes fashion, likes to know what the latest news is on things, the latest updates are on things. Very social, will walk around, the neighborhood, or knows a bunch of people, and it's diverse people, usually diverse groups, and they'll know kind of person that could walk down, let's say it is New York City, they could walk a few blocks, and every 20 feet they say hello or they know somebody, and it's all range and manner of people, because they're very good at adapting themselves socially to many different people. They're super curious. And Venus in Gemini is also very flirtatious. So again, because it's in the 9th house and it's all about expanding your horizons, or maybe traveling, or maybe you're getting out of your comfort zone, even if that's just coming out of your house after quarantine and coming out and about. It's a good sign for things to be more social and for people to be more engaging and, just more mental rapport. Maybe you're looking for that right now. Who clicks with you, who you can talk to, who understands. But it's not in a heavy therapy counseling kind of way. It's more like, who gets me, who gets my sense of humor, who can I talk about the news with that I enjoy, who can I talk about the latest music that I'm into with. It's more on that level, which doesn't mean shallow. It's just not who can I talk to about, my divorce. It's more like, who can I talk to, who can I share with, who can I banter with, who can I play, who can I be playful with. So when you have Venus and Mercury and the North Node in Gemini, like that pull towards wanting to be social and click and connect and laugh and share and brainstorm and have more than one group, more than one idea, more than one thing floating around is strong. And you may feel a pull to reinvent yourself on some level. So typically in the ninth house, it could mean, if it doesn't mean necessarily for everybody traveling, because if it weren't a pandemic, I would say people will want to get on a plane with these influences, or they'll want to take a road trip. But if we can't, it can be still exploratory, just exploratory perhaps of your own area. And it can also be exploring in the mental sense, because the ninth house can be also sometimes higher education, like university, or going back to school, going back to college, studying something on your own. But with Venus, Mercury, and North Node in Gemini, there's probably a pull to learn new things. So even if you can't leave the living room yet for whatever reason, put on something that shows you, exposes you to parts of the world. Put on something educational, put on a documentary, watch a foreign film, something like that. And you're going to make, a nice use of these planets. So let's take a look now at, do any of these planets have anything opposing or helping them out? So we do have a couple of conflictual aspects, but there always are. So let's just see. So what we have is Saturn in Aquarius, which is making a square. So like an intersection, two fixed signs, Aquarius and Taurus. Saturn is squaring off with the sun and the moon. The first feeling that gives me usually is authority, issues with authority, issues with the rules. One side wants to do it the way it's always been done. The other side says, no, we're not doing it that way, or it shouldn't be that way. And there's a bit of things coming to a head, a standoff. Because the planets are affecting everyone everywhere, you can look at the planet as a whole. If it doesn't happen, it's not happening in your neighborhood, doesn't mean it isn't happening in Colombia right now, which it is. So there's an air of authority and challenging authority. On a personal level, for most of us, if Saturn is squaring off with the sun or moon, there could be issues with your parents. I would be inclined to say, the moon is usually the mom, and the sun is the dad, but it doesn't have to be. So there could be an issue with one of your parents, and again, it could come down to like a strong difference of opinion, or a power or control issue between you. If not, and it's strictly internal, Saturn square the moon could be somebody that doesn't allow themselves to get their needs met very easily. Because Saturn square the moon is like someone that can't get what they need. So you see how what I'm doing, how it can play out globally and down to the personal, and then the inner life. So you can ask yourself the question, am I preventing myself in any way from getting what I need? Am I asking for what I need? Am I allowing my needs to be met or not? And, the Taurus sun moon is pretty strong. I would say it would be a good thing to think about, am I getting my physical needs, my material needs met with a Taurus? So am I satisfied with my salary? Am I making enough money to cover my bases? Do I need to alter anything? Do I need to add something, alter something to increase that? Or do I need to cut back on something so there's not as much strain? If it's your physical body, am I getting enough nutrition? Am I getting enough rest? Am I getting enough water? Am I going against my needs on a physical level? The other thing that we have that's also squaring off with the moon, sun, and Venus, because it all goes by math, is we have Jupiter here right at the end of Aquarius as well, squaring off with those things. So this whole push that I mentioned of wanting to be social and get out the door and learn and play and brainstorm. Jupiter's squaring off with that. And Saturn, again, you might go out there and express yourself and find that there's like sudden opposition from people you didn't expect, or sudden disagreement from people you didn't expect. But to me, it never feels like it's that hard, that tough an aspect. But Jupiter just stands for, where do you want to expand in your life? Where do you want to, be larger than life if you could? What things get turned into issues that are larger in society and in yourself? What issues could even turn into matters of justice? Sometimes Jupiter represents justice. So if it's squaring the moon, then all I would say with that is, if there's some way that your desire to expand your life triggers you to go against your basic needs. So maybe I have a desire, or I wish I was that kind of person who, I don't know, did something more daring or adventurous, and I really wish I was that girl, but I'm not, because the moon in Taurus is telling you, no, you don't like camping. So why do you think you can live off the grid with no electricity? Like, that's a nice idea, but no, that's not going to work with my needs or with who I am. That could be one way that it plays out, that type of thing. Someone's desire to change the game, because if Jupiter's in Aquarius, they want to change something. They want to do things differently. It's going to trigger somebody else's sense of their needs and that they're not ready. But it doesn't feel like a super strong influence to me as I look at the chart. Now, the other thing we have here that is helpful is that same Saturn I just mentioned is actually supporting Mercury and the North Node. So it's squaring the Taurus side, but it's helping the Gemini side. So what that tells us is to try to focus also on your, that playful, creative, lighthearted, keeping up with the times, going to visit people, keeping your mind open. It's emphasizing that might bring about more change than any kind of power or authority standoff. And I personally believe that that's true of a lot of change anyway. Sometimes we need the protest movement. We definitely do. But if you're constantly just in protest, then it's like my side wins, your side wins, winner, loser, my side, winner, loser, your side. If you really want things to change and move forward, these oppositional energies don't help if you stay stuck there. So focusing on that lighter Gemini side that just says, okay, well, let's get curious about this situation. Let's learn a little more about their perspective and these people, and let's share a little bit of, let's just be innovative in a lighter way, in a more collaborative way, in a more playful way. And that is emphasizing this Saturn in Aquarius, the changes that we want to see coming. It's better that it'll be more effective if it's done social media, online, the things we read and watch, the conversations we have, versus fighting it out on protest on the streets. We'll see more progress. And the other interesting thing is in this chart is that Pluto is also helping out the moon, sun, Venus, and Mercury. So Pluto's helping all of it out right now, believe it or not. at the end of Capricorn, 26 degrees. So it's just interesting. It depends on it's like splitting hairs a bit here, but it depends on the particular way you're going to go about making your changes happen or trying to facilitate societal change. It's going to all depend on how you choose to view it, whether it's effective or not, because Pluto is definitely going to help you with any kind of life reform. And Pluto is sitting here in the 5th house, so is Saturn. So it means, like, again, I keep stressing the word creativity, but think about little kids. You know, if you sit there with a little kid and you say, and you scold and you say, oh, you know, I told you not to, you know, that is sort of like the struggle that could happen with Saturn, Moon, Sun, Saturn square the Moon, Saturn square the Sun. I told you, but I want to, but no, you know, oppositional, just creates a tension. The more effective way, if a kid's doing something you don't want them to do, oh, what's that? What's that over there? Let's go see. Okay. Now you've just got them to stop the thing you didn't want, and you've got them engaged and excited to do something else. And now you've avoided, you know, the heavy emotions and the scolding and the trauma. And now you're bonding on something happier and lighter. This is the kind of energy you want you to focus on if you're in any kind of struggle with anybody right now. Take a look at those kind of tactics instead of the firm, authoritative, or even firm boundaries or the big talk, unless you really need to have it. But if you don't have to draw like a hard, firm line like that, try the diversion technique instead. And it'll leave things a lot lighter. Last thing I wanted to mention about this chart is Mars in Cancer. And it's making not a lot of aspect. It's making an easy aspect to Uranus. It's making a square to Chiron. So maybe let's talk about that for a second. Mars square Chiron. If Mars is here in the 10th house, which could talk about your public image, could talk about your job, your career, could talk about something going on with your reputation or in the public eye. Mars in Cancer, you know, either people see you as nurturing and kind and lovely, or Mars in the 10th house could also be somebody like a rivalry or people seeing an angry, difficult side of you. Mars in Cancer itself can be a little bit covert, the way it goes about getting what it wants. It's not in its best position because the crab, you know, it comes in and out of its shell and it moves sideways. It's not assertive. It's more like, I'll get what I want, but I'll sort of go this way. You know, it hates conflict, actually. So instead of, you know, facing the conflict, it goes sideways. So it can be manipulative sometimes. Squaring off with Chiron, which is in Aries in your 7th house, in the 7th house, could mean, you know, to be weary of some manipulation going on the career front or on the intimate relationships. Chiron in the 7th house in Aries can be a little tricky. Can be people that have just given. And again, you have to make sure that people are meeting your needs as well as you meeting theirs. It would be somebody with a wound of the self or giving themselves away too easily in their relationships, or sometimes it's the other extreme where it's somebody self-centered, self-absorbed, and doesn't think of other people. Now, with Mars squaring that off, some of you could see some of that type of friction coming up, it isn't always about you kind of stuff coming up with partnerships or with, and just like I said, a little bit of a flag about your work or your reputation could come up for some of you, but it doesn't feel terribly strong. Overall, the feeling I get of this chart and the energy is that it's a productive time to make some changes and decisions, and it's all going to matter. Like, the way it plays out for you is completely dependent on which tactic you take and how you see change happening, how you see power and authority. um, can you soften your approach? Can you see that can you be more flexible or playful about the way you go about making changes happen? So that's a pretty cool chart, I think. So let's take a look now at the tarot for this moon cycle. All right, we'll mix them up. I like doing these raw readings of the charts. When you get like you haven't overthought it. It's just the pure energy coming through the chart of what's going on. All right, so let's just see how this new moon phase plays out with the tarot helping us. And we're going to choose. First card is the Nine of Discs. So that's a very earthy card right there. It's more of a Virgo card. It means it's Venus in Virgo. It's money, gain. So money's on our minds. This might mean gain for some of you. If not, maybe you're thinking a lot about your money and how to gain more money. But it's usually a pretty good omen for things increasing financially. So look for opportunities without gambling, without it being greedy. We're not talking about quick, fast cash. That's not the mentality. This card comes up. It's a Pentacles card. It's an earthy card. It's not a get rich quick. This is, you've worked for it, you've earned it, ask for it kind of card. Some of you, maybe it's time to readjust your fees or your rates. Or it's time to ask for a raise, or it's time to think of a side gig, something that you can add a little extra to you so you're comfortable. This card's very financially comfortable. The next card is our Princess of Wands. So that's, that fiery, impulsive kind of side of us. When I see that standing beside a money card, it makes me go, if you do ask for more money or you suddenly get more, please be prudent and think about what to do with it. Don't just dive in and start spending woohoo, willy-nilly with your with your newfound gain, or don't just brag to everybody if you got a raise, or just, you can be excited, but rein it in a little bit. Don't be too impulsive if this happens. The next card is the Eight of Swords. So again, this for me matches the chart. This is like when you're breaking your head over things, analyzing things over and over, and you can't figure heads for tails because you've just overthought it so much that now you've just thought about it in 75 different ways. So if you add 76 ways, well, eventually you're just going to have a mental shutdown. You can't see clearly. It's a time to step back and stop thinking about it so much. Consult an expert if you need to. And it's a time to rely more on your intuition or your gut feeling than it is to analyze one more thing. So this could definitely say some of you are mulling over some decisions. Oh, we go back to fire. So we have the Prince of Wands as well. So this is interesting. Two fiery characters right here. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who's a hothead or an impulsive person, or spouts off or just suddenly walks away in the middle of a conversation or something. Like somebody who's a bit like that. Dynamic, maybe fun, maybe high energy, but also maybe impulsive. Sometimes this guy is a little bit, as you can probably see, he just looks very confident. And sometimes that's like extremely seductive. And other times it's like arrogance. You have to see, who am I dealing with? Your decisions could revolve around people, these exact people or scenarios I'm mentioning. So if you have someone around you, if it's not you who's impulsive, it could be someone around you who's being very impulsive or hot-headed or just flies off the handle, or they're not thinking about their welfare, their choices very through before they're acting on it. Or you could be dealing with someone who's a bit cocky sometimes. Oh boy, the Tower card. I didn't expect that because this is a nice reading so far. But the Tower means that something is over and it's time you face the music that it needs to be over. Before the tower falls, as you can see, the tower is just burning down from these hot flames and this mouth of flames. The Eye of Horus at the top. Whoops, I didn't mean to middle finger everybody. The eye at the top is the Eye of Horus, sort of beaming down the fire on the Tower of Babylon. And basically it means that if there's something bothering you, something that you can't quite decide, like we've been saying, it's actually a really old problem. It's not new. It's something where you've had many warnings and you haven't wanted to heed the warnings. And now the Tower comes and it pulls the rug out and it forces you to change. So if you are in any kind of distress at this new moon, and distress can mean anything. Suddenly your back goes out. Suddenly, you're not feeling so well. Suddenly you can't concentrate on your work, or you can't control your temper around somebody, or something. Like if you feel like you're about to blow, okay, try to recognize that you need to make this decision. You've needed to make it for a while before you let it all play out to where there's a huge fight, or where you walk off the job and now you're worried about whether you should stay there, or what people think of you, or your reputation screwed, or just stuff like that. Think about it. If there's two people around, impulsive, whatever, fiery, if they're not compatible with you and there's an issue, well, you've known for a while that they're not compatible. So before a huge Tower crisis moment hits, you still have time to get out and decide how to handle this. Followed by the Eight of Cups. Well, that's sort of normal after a Tower. You sort of feel embarrassed that something got that far before you, and you knew, but you just didn't feel confident enough to trust yourself to do anything about it. So it went on and on and on, and now you're in a bad position. It could be anything, like for me in my life, it's been on my mind for the last several months to a year, like maybe I should get a new dentist, and then the dental appointments that I've had the last 2 or 3 haven't been as good. So do I wait until my teeth are an absolute utter mess before I find a new dentist? No, you got to look for somebody. That would be a Tower moment, that something horrible happens at the dentist. That's just one example. It might play out totally different for you, but you get the point. If there's something really building up and bothering you, you have to do it before there's a crisis. After that, this is the card where you feel depressed and you're beating yourself up, and why did I let this happen? And why didn't I leave sooner? Why didn't I realize who they were beforehand? Why didn't I follow my gut and change things when I knew I should have? Why didn't I fix my car before I broke down on the side of the highway? I felt that I should fix the car, check the car, but I just didn't. This is where you're beating yourself up. If this is you, please don't beat yourself up. Everybody goes through moments like that. Everybody has things in life you're just too tired, too overwhelmed, whatever the reason, to face it. Happens to all of us, these types of lessons. So the Eight of Pentacles is a good thing. Helps us restore our faith here. This is, prudence. Again, another Virgo card. Step by step, bit by bit, one step at a time. Having trust that things will grow, things will get healthy, things will grow in a positive, healthy way for you. Life's not over, whatever happens here. If it's friends that you lost or needed to walk away, or groups or professional associations or jobs, it's not the last job on earth. It's not the last friends you're going to have on earth. There's new friends coming. There's new work coming. There's new job. There's new, if you let yourself go with your health, well, this is a restoring your health kind of card. So everything is going to be fine. The sooner you stop beating yourself up, the sooner you're on track to solve your problem. So try to stop beating yourself up so you can just stick in the positive mind frame that you will be fine and you are taking care of something and you are on it and it's going to change now, and stop crapping on yourself. Oh, after that, this is nice, the Fool. So after this, you get a whole new sense of, hey, I can have a new life. This is, wow, I feel like a new person. I'm ready to do something maybe a bit more exciting or risky than I thought before. I'm actually, you know what? I think I want to leap into this. I think I want to try that. I think I was being too hard on myself. I was holding myself back. I think I'm ready for something brand new. The hero's journey begins again. What is the call that you're hearing? The Fool hears the call and he steps out and he takes a risk and he begins the journey. So what do you feel compelled and called to do next? And our last card is interesting. The Death card. Interesting. So we have three major arcana. The Fool, the Tower, and the Death card. This is huge. I would say some of you, obviously not everyone resonates with this reading, but if you are, you might be on the precipice of a really huge life change. Some of these decisions we're mentioning, some of these things that are coming up that were overdue, why didn't I see it, or people you need to let go of, better self-care decisions, new job, new locations, something big like that. If you allow yourself to go through that moment of the Fool, I'm feeling called, it's time to go, it's time to start dating, it's time to stop dating this guy, it's time to apply for the job I've been wanting, it's time to do the project I've been saying I want to do, it's time to put it in motion, what I'm thinking and what I want. The Death card actually will bring you, at first it'll take something that you're thinking is it's fine. And then it's going to replace it with something even better than you thought. So there's a bit of a shock and a wow and a turnaround in your decision. For the better, though. There's just something that's going to come along, surprise you. This is very interesting, then, isn't it? Interesting twist there at the end of that reading. So let's see, what would be a good way to phrase our readings for each sign, then? Let's just ask for May, for this spring, is there any kind of plot twist coming up for you this new moon? I like that. All right. Just writing down my signs here. Should have done that before, sorry. People like it when I write down the time so they can find their reading faster. Although I hope if you're following me long enough, I hope you will have checked out what your rising sign and your moon sign are, because it's great if you listen to all three. Then you get a really thorough idea of what's coming. And sometimes the reading of the moon sign is going to resonate far stronger than the sun sign reading. Sometimes the rising sign reading matches way more what's going on for you. So try to figure out what all three are and find out and listen and look at all three signs. All right, so let's take a look. Aries, is there a plot twist for you this month? Plot twist. I love that. I feel like we need this dun 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 kind of music now. All right, I'm just going to spread the cards. And Aries, is there a plot twist for you? Your card is the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords. I would say if there is a plot twist, it is by someone who suddenly comes back. This could be someone who suddenly contacts you for any reason. Could be job, could be love, could be someone you haven't seen in a while. I'm hearing blast from the past. I'm hearing possibly an ex. I'm hearing someone that might have had a crush on you. So the plot twist is that there's this person that suddenly says, hello, I'm back. I haven't talked to you in a long time. If it's love, you want to be a little careful just in case, you're a woman and this is a man and you're already with a guy. You don't need any love triangles happening. Also, if this guy is already attached or married, and that plays into this blast from the past person, just take it easy, with your interaction. Make sure it's not upsetting anybody. If this is work-wise, well, there could be somebody new at the job that just changes the dynamics at work. Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's the main feeling I get. Somebody else coming in like a wild card, changing your status quo for a little bit, challenging the relationship dynamics around you. All right, Taurus, is there a plot twist for you this month? Well, that's a nice card. The Wealth card. 10 of Pentacles, money coming in. Your plot twist could involve a chunk of money. Well, that could be your tax return. Maybe it's more than you thought. Sometimes this is investments, money coming in. Sometimes it's some sort of bonus you didn't expect. Sometimes somebody will gift you. Sometimes this is a loan that you're going after and they say yes. But it's usually a lump sum or chunk of money coming. So this is a very nice message, obviously, if your wild card is related to a chunk of money that comes to you. That's definitely a nice plot twist there, Taurus. I hope that for you since it's your birthday month. I really do. That's a very nice message. So we'll leave it there. Gemini, is there a plot twist for you? We have another people card again. Okay. Prince of Cups. So for you, again, like the plot twist is related to a person that's highlighted, whether it's someone new, whether this is somebody already around you, because this is an emotional card, an emotional guy. The plot twist could be, this could be you. If it's you, you might be more emotional, more moody, could be something going on with you that stirs up your emotions, because look at how the water is just swirling behind him and he's just staring into this cup, looking down at the snake, wondering like, what the heck's going on, So it could be mental or emotional overwhelm in you, but it could also be somebody close to you. And whoever that somebody is going to be a more sensitive, sentimental, maybe sometimes confused, hard time committing to things. Could be a younger person. Sometimes this can be a son, a nephew, someone younger than you. If not, they're emotionally young. So I just feel the plot twist is just that somebody might need your support that you didn't think of, that you didn't think needed your support. Something comes up for somebody that they need me, or they need more help than you thought. Yeah, interesting. All right, Cancer. What is there a plot twist for you this month, Cancer? Gosh, all these cord cards. This is a very, this affirms all of this Gemini energy, because all of a sudden, all the messages are about people, other people. So Cancer, your plot twist, well, I don't see much of a plot twist. This lady's pretty secure and stable right now. She's pretty happy with what she's got. She's got her wealth for sure. We can see that. She's got her ram at the bottom. She's got somebody saying, "Excuse me, did I say you could call me?" Or whatever. She's got her henchman, her protector. She's looking out at her land, at her view from her home. She's looking pretty comfortable. So I don't feel much of a plot twist for you. I feel more of a sense of calm and secure and comfortable. And maybe for some Cancers, that is the plot twist, that you'll be more calm and secure and comfortable. Just take it easy and rest, please, Cancer. Take it easy. Pamper yourself, slow down, don't work so hard. Leo, let's take a look for you. Is there a plot twist for Leo? Oh, and we pulled our card from the main reading. So 8 of discs. So not a lot of plot twisting there, more about, again, slow and steady, step by step, planting seeds. Seeds grow, keep watering it, some more things grow, it gets taller, the flowers bloom, on and on. Routine will bring you success. Routine will bring you success. Routine will bring you success. Not much plot twisting then, so that's good. If you've been more chaotic or dramatic or haven't had routines, then the plot twist will be the routines. If you're happy and things are growing slowly, I don't see a lot of plot twisting for you. All right, now let's ask for Virgos. Virgo, is there a plot twist for you this month? The Hierophant. A lot of deep thinking this month, this new moon. This can be, again, studying and reading, spiritual knowledge coming to you, meditation, being more philosophical about stuff, healing, because there's the inner wisdom that you can see. There's an old man, but there's a star over his heart, and there's a child inside. So your inner child, there's the priestess, a priestess at the bottom, shining the light upwards. So your divine feminine wisdom as well. And all these animals are like the demons around us, but he's protected from all of that, and he's enlightened. So doesn't feel like a lot of plot twist per se, like anything, nothing really external. It feels like if there's any kind of sudden shift, that it would be towards insight, or, oh my, now I understand this, or, oh, wow, what a concept. That is so amazing. I have to learn more about that. So to me, it's more about your healing process and expansion, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That's a super nice message. All right, Libras. Libra, is there a plot twist for you? And we get the Magician. So yeah, definitely. Definitely. But for the better, which is like I was saying with the Death card. So this would be like suddenly going after your projects, your dreams, expanding your horizons, believing in yourself to try something else, try something different than you normally do. So this is definitely somebody getting out of their comfort zone and trusting their skills. It's only going to expand from there. So if you're feeling frisky and you want to express yourself with something different, some of you might start a little business with Magician cards. Some of you might start freelancing. Some of you might be just autonomously doing something fun. Like the Magician is just, oh, it would be really interesting to do that. Well, I know how to do that. Okay, so let's do it. Nothing's stopping me. The other thing about the Magician is manifesting stuff. So manifesting to me isn't passively like going, oh, I wish this would happen and I want that so bad. No, manifesting only happens when you are confident, when you believe. If I say, I will not live where I live forever, I will live in a better circumstances than I've ever lived in. Let it be so. And I truly believe that. And I put it out there. And then the magic starts to happen because you've put the confidence out in the world. So this is what this card can be about as well. So the game changer for you would be launching something of your own or the confidence to manifest something you want. Beautiful. Scorpios. What is your plot twist if you have one? Again, it's about people. Queen of Swords. You have a difficult lady around. You have a lady who is very smart, very demanding, very hard to please, hard to appease. If she likes you and she thinks your work is good or you're doing what she wants, she is very rewarding. She can make or break you. She's that kind of powerful. So if this is coming up in your career, let's say this is a customer of yours, a client of yours, whether it's your personal one or at a company. Keep this lady happy. Don't let her like steamroller over you. You're not there to be her slave. But if you serve her well, she will tell everybody how great your business or your service and you'll be busier. This lady can make or break. Now you piss her off, she will gossip and smear you. So think about who this might be. If it's your work, it might be more obvious, but keep your customers happy right now as much as you can. If this is in your personal life, it's the same type of person. It's a make or break type of lady. Again, you don't want to just lay down and be a doormat for her, but you've got to keep her in check or appeased enough so that she doesn't do any damage either. So your plot twist is just maybe that it's time to take a decision how to deal with this person in your life. And again, remember what we said at the earlier reading about, you can have that standoff of boundaries and conflicts, or you can go, oh, hey, that's interesting. Or you can use your Gemini side, diversion, you know, what's a good example? Like if a lady like that comes in, they're usually very, dominant. So she might come in and say, "Oh, I thought, I thought I'd be served by somebody else today. Sorry, I thought there'd be somebody more experienced here at the desk." That'd be like a very Queen of Swords thing to say. Instead of saying, "I've worked here for 10 years, madame, I can help you." Now you get an instant struggle with a lady like that. Instead, you can say, "Yeah, I guess I look younger than my experience, but I'm sure I can help you. What can I do for you?" Like jokey, divert the conflict and make it playful, make it funny, lighten it up, and but still figure out what you need to do with that person. Okay, Sag, let's just see for you. So is there a plot twist for Sag? Not. Yes. Oh boy. 7 of Cups is not nice. This is my card of either cheating or addiction or very bad states of mind emotionally. So it's time to confront this, whatever that is. If this is you and you can recognize yourself having a really toxic emotional dynamic with yourself or with others, you've got to pull back and clean it up, or you might need a lot of space, or you might need to walk away because something has just gotten too sticky and it's not workable. If this is related to addiction in any way or health, again, look at it. It's a swamp. It's time to address it and clean up your body, clean up your habits. If it's not you, it's somebody around you. So again, it's messy and sticky. You're in a position where either you or someone else needs some help. That's what I'm feeling. So you have a big decision to make about how much you're going to be involved in confronting it or telling the person or using diversion. Although the diversion tactics might not work very well in that scenario because it's already so far gone. It's not light. So yeah, you're gonna have to decide, how involved am I gonna be with the depth of someone else's issues. And if it's you, it's, turn around and let's get clean. Let's clean your life up. Clean up your diet, clean up your mental hygiene, clean up the habits or the patterns with people around you. You'll know who it is pertaining to. All right, Capricorn. Is there a plot twist for you? Yeah, you get the Fool. So the plot twist is, yeah, for sure, but a good one. Are you feeling the call? Do you have a vision of something else you'd like with your life? You already plan long term, but maybe there's something more coming up. Maybe there's other details. Maybe there's another side of you that you can see. There's other things you realize you want. Maybe your intuition keeps turning you towards certain things, certain places, certain people, certain projects. And you're like, no, but I said I was, I want this and I'm going to do that and I'm focused on this. And something over here is going, hello, I want you to turn around. I want you to look at me. So it's really tuning in. You got to really be honest and tune in to your higher self as to what is calling you next. No one says you have to act on it tomorrow, but you have to acknowledge when you get the call. I mean, we just never know when we're going to feel called towards something. You can be in the middle of the most stable, wonderful time, and you feel perfectly happy with everything, let's just say. And you still might get a call that says, "Oh, I need to leave this place," or "This isn't the right house," or "Oh, this isn't the right partner. I've outgrown my role," or, any number of things can be the higher self calling you to the next step, the next chapter. So it's just get quiet so you can hear that call. Like I said, no one's forcing you to act on it tomorrow, but be honest that it's there. I think it's a nice plot twist, but I know, like, for Capricorn planners, it can be like, but I have it all planned out. Don't change it on me. It's your higher self changing it. It's not anybody doing it to you. All right, Aquarians, let's see for you. Is there a plot twist for you, Aquarius? Boy, I don't mean to do this, but I'm pulling all the cards from the main reading. So you are in some sort of analysis paralysis. You're breaking your head. You're way overthinking something. You're overwhelming yourself with too many thoughts and too many ideas and too many people's opinions, too many websites, too many experts. I don't know. Something, it's like, look at the state. This is the state of the mind with this card. There's just knives everywhere. It's almost like you've got so much going on that your brain is bleeding. It's like crazy. It's time to stop overthinking something. It's time to rest, or you've got to deal with things on another level than your rationale. Sorry to say. Sometimes, no matter how many things or people or books you consult, your answer is not there. It is always here. And nobody can ever tell you that that is right or wrong. And you can't wait for people to validate what's in your heart. You have to just do it based on your heart. That's the way you're going to bypass this. So your plot twist is basically, sorry, but a lot of things are not going to be working out so well until you stop it. So the Tower message fits you more than the other signs of this reading so far. Don't just keep going, until you hit the wall. You already probably know that you're mentally tired. So you have to stop yourself from that track and rest a bit and come back. Go out in nature if you have to, somewhere where you can hear your heart and get out of your head so much. All right, Pisces, is there a plot twist for you? All right, your plot twist, again, more people cards. Social Moon, this is. This is Prince of Swords. I don't like this guy. I never do. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, he's always fun to be around. He's boyish, he's funny, he's playful, or he's creative or clever, but he's also usually, two-faced, or can easily charm you or lie. He does not follow through on what he says he's going to do. And sometimes this card can even go so deep as showing you that there's somebody who's, their thinking process is seriously disturbed in some way. Whether that is disturbed in a dark way or a lighter way, but it could be anything from ADD to like a psychopath with this card. The mind is not at rest with this guy. So he's just like us. I'm not saying you have a psychopath in your life. You might, but very few would, but just in case, just as an example, psychopaths are extremely charming, aren't they? But they're also very disturbed. If it's somebody who's just disturbed about, their mind is constantly going, and they can't make a commitment. They can't be relied upon. They can't tell you straight what the answer is. They don't know themselves, or they're hiding, or they're too busy in their own stories to. So you just want to watch, Pisces. Your wild card or your plot twist could be encountering somebody that isn't trustworthy for you. And if you already know who it is, well, you might need to take action with that person, protect yourself, or avoid working with them if you can, or whatever you can do to protect yourself from their behavior. And if you haven't met them, then I would just be on the alert for somebody super charming and seems so great at the first. Watch for the Jekyll and Hyde moment. It doesn't take long. Watch that they're reliable and on their word. It won't take long for them to show you that they're not. All righty. So let's do a little bit of sage just to close off this reading. And maybe a bit of cedar. Yeah. All right. And I want to thank all of the First Nation and the Mohawk whose land we're on, whose traditions I'm using right now. Using their medicines, they have helped me greatly through my spiritual process. Let me just bring in the cedar energy. Let's just focus on the nice part of this new moon and plant the seeds of things that need to be decided and changed, and think about the best, lightest way to bring about that change and that communication. All right. I wish you well, and if you need a private reading from me, you can reach me here in the comments or on Facebook at Clairvoyant Medium Catherine Allen, or on Instagram, same thing, Catherine River Rain. You can look me up and I can help you one-on-one. All right, take care until next time.